Hacksaw Ridge is a new war epic directed by the one, the only, the racist Mel Gibson. It stars Andrew Garfield, Hugo Weaving, Teresa Palmer, Vince Vaughn, Sam Worthington. It tells a story about this guy named Desmond Doss. Desmond Doss is a guy who wants to join the military, wants to join the army, he wants to help his country during World War I. He wants to become an army medic, he wants to help people, he wants to save people on the front line. But he has religious beliefs and an upbringing that tells him that he can't use guns. He can't use guns, he can't use any kind of weapon, and he can't kill. He doesn't want to kill. He wants to be in the war, but he doesn't want to kill or use weapons, and this obviously causes some problems among his army people. We get to Hacksaw Ridge, which is a big battle that takes place in Okinawa during World War I. This tells the true story of how Desmond Doss saved 75 men single-handedly on the front lines without firing a gun, without using a gun, which... really? Yeah, the last hour of this movie is pretty much proof positive that I'd be a total and complete bitch on the front lines of war. Holy shit, that was brutal. I love pretty much every minute of this movie. In a movie like this, you have to start with the acting. The actors all brought their A+ and A++ games. They all brought their 10 out of 10s. They all brought their Oscar bid. Yeah, this movie basically has every actor bidding for an Oscar. You have to start with Andrew Garfield. Where else would we start? Not only does he give the best performance of his career, he gives the best individual performance of anyone that I have seen in 2016. This guy nailed this character. He nailed it the way that a horny Bob the Builder in a construction site late at night with a Russian prostitute would nail it. What do you think Bob's gonna do? You think he's gonna drop that hammer? He just totally sells you on this character, his conflict, his struggle, and the bravery, the courage that this guy showed during this battle. So unbelievable that this was a real story, but it really happened. He plays his character with a charm and also a determination and a passion. People accuse him of being a coward because he doesn't want to pick up a gun, and they're like, you don't care that your fellow men are dying right next to you. Fuck you. Desmond Doss is a guy that cared too much, and he just would not sacrifice his principles, even in the face of overwhelming pressure from both his own people and from a really frenetic battle sequence that I'm going to get to in a little bit later. Garfield, you get the fast, slow clap at this point. I like Doss's relationship with Teresa Palmer. It's this girl that he marries that he decides he wants to be with going into the war. She gives a really good performance too. They have great chemistry. They're kind of cute together, honestly. Hugo Weaving, we're so used to seeing him as Lord Elrond or Red Skull or Agent Smith. Mr. Anderson, I just want to let you know that I kill that shit in this movie, and that is the natural state of things. Hugo Weaving was unbelievable in this movie. Granted, it took me a little bit of time to get used to his accent, but he was still really good. Vince Vaughn was amazing in this movie too. Usually in a Vince Vaughn movie, we know what Vince Vaughn is going to do. We know that Vince Vaughn is going to basically be Vince Vaughn. He's going to be this fast-talking, really quippy guy. No, Vince Vaughn was kind of funny in this movie, but in a more serious way. He played a really serious character, and I really appreciated that shit. Not to mention, Sam Worthington was good in this movie. What? Is this the end of times? Look at how much weird shit has happened this year. Look at all these classic NBA players that have retired. We've got a really polarizing presidential race. We've got clowns running everywhere causing havoc. And on top of all of that shit, we've got Sam Worthington and Jai Courtney giving good performances in the same year? Holy shit, the world is coming to an end. I need to find a bunker immediately. He plays this captain who leads these men into the Battle of Hacksaw Ridge, and he's a guy that doesn't understand Andrew Garfield's character. He doesn't understand Desmond Doss at first, but he eventually grows to respect him. They portrayed this as one big moral conflict within this one man. It's not like they're saying, hey, be a Christian, be a Christian, be a Christian, be a Christian. Basically saying that this guy just believes so much in what he wants to believe in. It's pretty much the last hour of this movie is mostly non-stop action, and holy shit! The action in the end of this movie is almost, it's frightening. It's beautifully horrible. It's beautiful in the sense that it's shot really well and that it looks really well. Camera work is great. The sound editing, the sound mixing, you feel the impact of every bullet, every grenade. It's horrible in the way that it's depicted though. I mean, it's so graphic and so bloody, and I wanted to throw up several times watching the end of this movie. My stomach was basically sitting there in disgust and awe at the whole thing at the end of the movie. Yeah, the action scenes in this movie are brutal, they are relentless, they are epic, they are graphic, and they're shot in the way that only Mel Gibson knows how to shoot action. You have a great moral conflict, you have great characters, you have great acting, you have great action. I mean, I pretty much shouldn't even do the Luthers, right? I shouldn't. It is time for the nitpick section of the review. Can't wait. The only thing I don't like about this movie is that there are certain character arcs that don't really get completed by the end of the movie. There's not really a great or satisfying resolution with some other characters' arcs. In that, you feel like the end of the movie kind of montages through some of the more important stuff that I would have wanted to see. I would have wanted to physically see some of the shit. Instead, they kind of montage through the end of the movie, which was kind of a bummer. Brutal action. Terrific Oscar-worthy performances from pretty much everybody, but especially Andrew Garfield. This is his movie. It's got heart, it's got emotion, it's got power, it's got everything that you want in a movie like this. There's no way this movie is getting out of this review without the Superman Prime rating. Thank you. That is my review of Hacksaw Ridge. Be sure to check that out this weekend. One of the best movies of the entire year. If you like what you see, tell me how you feel and stay tuned to hear more from the Man of Steel. Peace.